what's up you guys? It's MCLegoboy here with 75170, the Phantom. Not marked 2, which is interesting. Would have totally thought it would have said the Phantom 2 on it. It is 269 pieces of a Lego Star Wars Rebels set. So, yeah. And it's suggesting that these 3 are new figures. These 2 definitely are. I'm not sure about Chopper, but I have the other Phantom here ready to compare with it. So, yeah. And not much to really show. It's just it's the Phantom 2. I'm gonna call it Phantom 2 because there's no way that this thing's just gonna be called the Phantom. I gotta check something for a second. Well, my thing says the Phantom V39. What does that even mean? So, yeah. Anyway. We'll get this box open. We'll see how mangled everything is. And then we'll get on with the review. Alright, so here we are. There's our comparison set. There's our other Phantom. There's a Kanan right there. We got 3 bags. Amazingly, a not too badly damaged sticker sheet, but oh my gosh, look at all these stickers. Yeah. And then the instructions, I mean, it could lead to being, okay, this is gonna get annoying. So, yeah, way to go, Lego. Alright, let's get on with the review. So it is now tomorrow.
Good morning. Nice of you guys to drop by.
And I just woke up about 10 minutes ago. So, I'm going to try and, like, boost up my energy and finish this review for you guys. Yeah, actually, like, I finished building this at about 12:30, I think, or something like that. And I had been reviewing sets since, like, 8. Maybe a little bit earlier. I don't know. It was just, you know, kind of felt like I needed to sleep, and I didn't want to try and wake anybody up at 12:30 and have them be mad at me. So, here it is. These instructions are still just as stupid. Like, yeah, I don't like that. But anyway, let's get on to minifigures. So, we'll just do that for a second. Alright, so Chopper. The box showed that he was kind of like flaming with stuff around him. I think that's just what they're doing now, in terms of Star Wars at the moment. Because if I get the other Chopper out, I never found a difference. Whoa! Hey, look at that. That might be the second time I've ever sneezed in a video. First time was in the Twilight. And man, that video, like, it's been getting some business, but it's not been very popular. But yeah, and actually, I may have accidentally swapped the 2. I got lost when I was looking at them before, and so I may have the wrong Chopper in the wrong set. But since they are identical, nothing too bad. Like it's not like, you know, I swapped R2-D2s from like a 5-year gap or something, you know. Now we get on to Kanan. And Kanan looks pretty great. I really like what they did with his character in Rebels. Makes him a lot more interesting. And even though he was already one of the top characters in the show, even from the beginning, this just really adds more now that he's blind. So just kind of compare what he looks like. So, then what is that side? Oh, hey, he's smiling. Cool. Because that's what he has on the other side of his face. And really, my only complaint about Kanan is that he doesn't have kind of a mark going across his face, like some kind of bruising and slight scar tissue or something like that. So, you know, this, honestly, it's just the exact same mold, but with this on there. So, yeah, it's a new mold, but, you know, it's kind of better than, like, them kind of redoing everything. It's just, like, you just had to copy and paste, like, the mold design and just add on the mask. I still don't know how it stays on his face. But we're talking about fake science going on in some cases. His belt is different. It's now brown instead of black. And then he's got like some difference on the knees. I don't know if this one just was inaccurate before, or if this is just what he actually looks like now. So yeah, good minifigure. And it's actually simpler, but like just in terms of detail and design, but that's how the character is designed in the show, so I'm not gonna fault it on that. And this is what I've been doing just for him to get back into the cockpit of this thing. Not sure if Kanan can fly, because he definitely sees through the Force, but I don't think he sees that well. I think it's kind of like a situation like Toph, where he's got to be like really close to something to really get an idea as to what it is. Because he's also asked like, oh, what is it? Like, what are you seeing out in space? And it's like, oh, it's a Star Destroyer. Oh, great, we're screwed. So, you know. And then we got Thrawn. Grand Admiral Thrawn, man. So his character, I only knew about it. I had never seen why people loved him so much, because he was just in books. Man, now that they've brought him over into the show, I can definitely see why. So yeah. I've heard that the ranking on him is a little incorrect. Honestly, I'm not too concerned about that. It is kind of a shame that it's not accurate, especially since we've got older Imperial officers that were probably really accurate. And so, you know, it seems like it shouldn't have been that hard to get that right. He does have two faces. So, yeah. And what's great about this hairpiece is that nothing kind of shows on the other side. And really my only complaint about his face is that they've added in the little tiny detailing around his eyes. They could have done without that, because my print is slightly off, and it also kind of just makes him look like he's really tired. And I don't like that. So, and then they give him a blaster. He has used a blaster before in the show. He just doesn't a lot of the time. He usually commands the people with the blasters. So that would have been probably more appropriate. But I think they've also come out with sets with Tarkin, and they've given him a gun. So, you know, I think it's just for the fact that, you know, he's a bad guy. Oh my gosh. We got to give him a gun. So, we've got a door that opens with an Imperial crate inside that you can't seem to get out. There we go. And we've got this crate with a like tiny little sticker on it. Oh my gosh, that was a pain to get on there. And now I've got like adhesive spread around all over the place. So that's not good. This really should have been a sticker that had a lot more to it, like just go across the entire thing. But inside the crate, one thermal detonator. You get an extra as a spare. You could throw that in there if you really wanted to. Honestly, I really think they should have added something else inside, because, come on. Just this big crate for one tiny thermal detonator. I kind of feel like you could have at least included 2 or 3 more of those. And maybe like a box, or something, like another little small box, or you know, you could throw Thrawn's blaster in there, which is what I'm probably gonna do, because having Thrawn with a blaster just doesn't feel right. So throw the blaster in there if you want. You could also throw Kanan's lightsaber in there. What was I doing this entire time? Come on, go across. There we go. Yes.
I am too smart. I am too smart.
I am
too smart.
kind of smart.
S-M-R-T. I mean S-M-A-R-T.
So yeah. And we'll leave him out for now, because I gotta show you guys other features, which there aren't very many, but there are like little extra features. But first, we'll take a short break. So that's what the cockpit looks like, and it can split off. Not sure why. Don't know if that's an actual thing that the Separatist shuttle could do. Maybe it's a thing that can happen with the Phantom 2, but yeah. It uses one of those stupid little... God, I hate those things so much because I don't feel like they work. This time it actually works, and I think it's because his hair sticks out, because it's always kind of in contact with the wall behind him. So he kind of stays in place a lot of the time, which is nice. We need to get more things like that. If I were to put Thrawn in here, though, I have a feeling he would probably move around a little bit more. Nope. He kind of stays in place. I don't know. If you do that, he'd definitely stay in place a little bit more. I don't know. I kind of feel like we could have just done with, like, maybe that, and instead of where that grill tile is, you could have put 1x2 plate. That would have had the added bonus of just a slight bit of extra friction holding the minifigure in place. Control panel. That is a nice control panel. They've been using it a lot lately. And it looks good. You know what I haven't seen in a while, though? I haven't seen that old one where it's a light gray tile with the red and white buttons going across it. Maybe I just haven't been getting the right sets. Maybe they haven't been including them lately. I don't know. You can see Chopper. He fits in right there. So the shuttle has been modified so that he can fit in there as a hyperdrive. So they probably grabbed that little Mon Calamari dude that made the Blade Wing, or the B-Wing, and, you know, and then that's that. The legs, they do come up. Oh, hey, look, there's a sticker right there. Totally forgot about that. And then the legs just kind of fold up like this. As you can see, when I do this, though, these are not level. Like, what gives? So when you have this thing in a landing position, and this thing also tells you to really splay the legs out, which, yeah, that's what you kind of need to do if you want to be accurate with it, but then it's really more just sitting on these, on like the base itself instead of landing on the feet. So when you put it down, it actually has a bevel to it. I actually kind of like that, so... But it's still kind of one of those things, like, the landing gear's not level. Like, it's supposed to be level. So, and this is probably just a little out of scale in terms of minifigure. But, you know, it also needs to kind of be around the same size as the original Phantom. So the Phantom 2 is slightly bigger than this Phantom. But it needs to be slightly bigger so that it can still connect with the Phantom, and I'll get to that. But first, let's compare it to this old dusty Clone Wars Separatist shuttle, because that's what it's supposed to be based off of. And, well, yeah, this thing is a lot smaller, although I kind of, I don't know, like, I don't know, this design kind of works a little more. This design works better with this tall fin, though. But this is more how it is in the show. And it's really hard to tell because, you know, you got, like, this is probably more based off of the Clone Wars version. This is probably based more off of a stylized version from the movies. And I can't remember if this fin's supposed to be tall or if it's supposed to be long. So, I'm just going to say it's accurate. And that other one is accurate to something else. Maybe there's two different types of Separatist shuttles. So, and, you know, I keep saying that it's a Separatist shuttle. If you haven't seen Season 3 of Rebels, spoiler alert! Ezra's a doofus. He blows up this Phantom. And then there's a great episode that is a tribute to the Clone Wars. Kind of a nice closer for Clone Wars fans, I guess. We get to see Captain Rex, Kanan, and Ezra go up against a whole bunch of battle droids that are found in the middle of nowhere. And in the ensuing battle that takes place, it's more like a chess game. Then the Empire actually shows up. And then they escape through shuttles. So yeah. Oh, totally forgot. This is a great way to hide spring-launched missiles. And what's great about it is that you've got this thing inside of here. That little yellow thing. You move it left to right. So if I move it right, there we go. We got a shot off. And yeah, that is a fantastic way to incorporate these spring-launched missiles. And it's not sticking out too much in the back, like the trigger. So I highly doubt that these things are going to go off by accident in a sticker control. Whoa, most of the time. Oh, jeez. God, that hit me in the ear. So, pretty great. All right, so we've got 4 minutes left. Let's get that ghost. Super spooky. So normally, this is how the ghost is. It's usually not as dusty as mine, but this is how the ghost is supposed to be back there. But the way that the old Phantom worked, you needed to click this up twice, and it sat in there like that, and then it went down one. Kind of fits better. It still slopes and it curves just a little bit more. Is that actually in there? I don't know. I don't care. Let's just get it out of there. Because it's not supposed to be there anymore. I'm actually moving that Phantom over to Captain Rex's AT-TE in my collection. Which we'll be getting a video. I'm going to try and work on that today. Because it's now Monday. I was reviewing everything on Sunday. Sunday. Alright. So, really, just kind of fits in there. Yeah, just like flip the thing up the entire way. You can set it down just like that. Click it more like that. It's a little tall. Yeah, there we go. Terribly sorry about sniffing so much now. I had to sneeze, and that just kind of ruined everything, didn't it? But, you know, it works. The Phantom was already out of scale anyway, because this thing is actually supposed to be massive, because this is supposed to kind of like hide in there, more or less. So, yeah. And as for what happens to the Phantom, we don't really know. Or like the Phantom 2 anyway. We don't really know. What we do know, though, is that it was absent from Rogue One. When you look closely, you can see The ghost is in there, if you didn't already know. And in that final battle, the port for the Phantom is empty. So that leads to some big suspicions that I want to know. So hopefully season 3 or season 4 will give us answers, because it's more likely going to be in season 4. Yeah, no, that's not working. Just put it back like that. So yeah, this has been MCLegoboy with, and I can't read that. Where'd the box go? Haha. This has been MCLegoboy with 75170, The Phantom 2. See you guys.